İdare etmeniz gerekirse Hello, this is Serhat Boynakalın. I am a doctoral researcher assistant at Istanbul Technical University Graduate School. Today, I will moderate the event. Welcome to Istanbul Technical University's first ever 3-minute thesis, 3MT in short, competition hosted by the graduate school. This international format, developed by the University of Queensland, challenges doctoral researchers to present their work in just 3 minutes using only one static slide without props or videos or notes. We are proud and eager to bring this exciting and intellectually engaging format to ITU for the first time. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Rectorate for their ongoing support. Also, we would like to thank esteemed sponsor Mr. Ali Rıza Arslan, the chairman of the board of the Hydrogenics, for his generous financial support. Furthermore, we would like to thank the jury, our jury, Professor Dr. Altan Çakır, Professor Dr. Elif Günceli Güner, Professor Dr. Hatice Ayataç, Professor Dr. Yılmaz Akkaya, Professor Dr. Tufan Kumbasar, Professor Dr. Tuncay Zorlu, Associate Professor Dr. İpek Yalçın Eniş. And we would like to thank our audience, which today will include all of us actively participating in this event. Now, I would like to kindly invite Professor Dr. Fatma Seni Güner, the Institute Director of the Istanbul Technical University, to deliver her opening remarks. Please welcome her to the stage.
Esteemed Vice Rector, dear audience, academicians, students, and distinguished guests. I will take a small speech, a short speech. I know that our students are very excited, so I will do a very short speech. Today, we have the opportunity to listen to 24 doctoral researchers in 19 different disciplines. Each of them has faced a unique challenge of their thesis. In this competition, they will not only present their research, but also demonstrate how a technical subject can be conceived in an understandable way in just 3 minutes. Although each presentation is limited in 3 minutes, behind each one lies years of dedication and patience. I wish all participating students the best of luck, and I would like to extend my thanks to Ali Rıza Arslan of his support, financial support, and to our esteemed jury member, their presence. So I wish you an enjoyable and productive day. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your remarks, Professor Dr. Fatma Seni Güner, the Institute Director. Now, I would like to remind some rules. Today's competition is about communicating research effectively and clearly to a general audience. Participants must stick to 3-minute time limit. Exceeding it will result in disqualification. Participants should also wait until the evaluation has been announced. Our panel will judge the presentations and we will award the first and second place winners based on jury scores. At the People's Choice Award, your votes will decide. Voting will take place after all presentations, so we kindly ask you to listen carefully through all sessions. Only one individual will receive the jury award for the first and second place. The People's Choice Award will be granted to the participant with the highest score among those without a jury award. If more than one participant attempts the highest score, the award will be shared among them. So let's begin. For a starter, I would like to invite Melike Oğuz Açıkalın to present her presentation.
Thank you. You can start. Think back those celebration dinners, weddings, birthdays. You wanted to try everything on the table, right? But half your plate was left, destined for the trash. This is an act of the global food waste crisis. 1.3 billion tons of food is wasted annually. Imagine that food mountain, burying entire cities, rotting under the choices of ours. And it's not just about scraps. Why does that happen? I'm Melike. My PhD reveals the hidden motives behind food waste. Instrumental motives like planning and serving to feel prepared, and consummatory motives like tossing perfect food to chase perfection. One-time act is not food waste. Food waste is not one-time act, obviously. It is frequent and driven by motives. Target-oriented ones are instrumental. Emotional and belief-oriented ones are consummatory. Some people overbuy food to feel safe, secure. Some people throw out perfectly good food because they think it's irrelevant or they misjudge expiration dates. And why does that happen? In my research, I'm solving why and by thinking what consumers waste food. So far, food waste stems from good intentions gone wrong, like wanting to be a great host or parent. And my research contribution is in twofold. Academically, in literature, combining theories and using behavioral science, it explains why we waste, and besides what. And for consumers, it helps consumers, to be aware of themselves. You are either efficient-driven or pleasure-seeker. Being aware of that, you can take better interventions like tasty leftover recipes or budgeting applications are good choices and good tactics for sustainable and rewarding applications in daily life. In 3 minutes, I've shown why motives behind that overflowing plate matters. I'm Melike, and my PhD is paving the way to save food. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Melike. Please welcome our next presenter, İlayda Hızır Kadı. I would like to remind you, there is a timer on the screen on the presentations of yours. So please do not exceed your time.
Imagine cracking open a hazelnut. You enjoy the nut and then throw away shell and skin aside. Because they are raw, useless and dusty. It's right. But now, again, imagine the same waste wrapping your apple to keep freshness, or chicken meat reducing bacteria, or lining at supermarket shelves not as plastic but as something natural, safe and smart. That transformation is the heart of my PhD. Every year, Turkey produces over 700,000 tons of hazelnuts. With it came huge pile of byproducts, shine and skin. These are usually burned, discarded, or created lost on emission. But hidden in these products are two powerful secrets. These contain phenolics. They are potent natural antioxidants. Also, they are rich in cellulose. It provides fibrous and strong structure for the film. What I do is extract these natural ingredients and blend them into polyvinyl alcohol. That is biodegradable, water-soluble film, and also used as an eco-friendly packaging film. And the outcome, a flexible, compostable, and biodegradable film. The shell and skin provide the fiber structure for this film, and in my experiment, apple wrapped this film broke more slowly, and chicken meat sample stay safer with fewer bacteria. Also, watermelons, it holds all color, texture, and weight. But beyond the lab, there is a big picture. It's not about just making a film. It's about rethinking waste. It's about turning what we threw away into something new. So, I am asking you, what if waste the end of the story, but the beginning of something better? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation, İlayda. Nextly, let's hear from Mustafa Helmi Mohammed Abdelhalek. Is he? Mustafa? I think he's not here now. Mustafa Abdelhalek, not here, right? No. So, let's hear from Burçak Boztemur.
The superconductivity is very famous topic for years. Then, although some of the scientists is saying that is trying to find room temperature superconductor, another of them is saying that it is impossible because of the nature of the superconductivity. But in our study, we are trying to find the superconductivity that can work at higher temperatures. So let's start with what is the superconductivity. In the superconductivity, magnetic field is applying to material and it is not diffusing inside of the material. It goes around the material. This is the Meissner effect. Thanks to Meissner effect, there are two types of superconductor. And one of them includes pure metal, second one includes alloys or ceramics. In my PhD thesis, I will work on the type 2 superconductor. This is the novel part because in the Turkey, nobody is working on the type 2 superconductors. Let's talk about the conditions for the superconductors. For the superconductor behavior becomes real at the low temperatures. But these low temperatures is nearly 4 Kelvin or 20 Kelvin, and imagine that it's the highest point 80 Kelvin. This 80 Kelvin provide with the liquid nitrogen. But the liquid nitrogen can easily produce from the air, but it's hard to find superconductor can work at the liquid nitrogen. So these times everybody is trying to find superconductor can work at these temperatures. Then you can see the picture in the middle of the slide. There is magnetic field, and this magnetic field creates the levitation on the sample. So this levitation creates some application in the world. For example, maglev train. Thanks to this levitation, maglev train can reach the 600 km/h speed. This is very high speed for the train. And also there are MR devices. Superconductivity plays a huge role for the MR devices. Also fusion reactor. This is the renewable energy. Also this is very advanced technology. Superconductor plays very important role for these three important usage area. In my PhD thesis, I am trying to produce high entropy materials that includes 5 or more elements inside of this material type. Thanks to cocktail effect, because there is many elements inside of this material, these materials can work higher temperatures. These temperatures is affected the usage area. So we aim to produce these materials for using high temperature applications, such as these types of the usage area. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Gülter, for your presentation. I would like to invite Marina Batur.
Imagine you get a call. A nearby nuclear plant has an accident. You must protect thousands of people. So what's your plan? Where do you start? When a nuclear power plant has an accident, like what happened in Fukushima, Japan, the first step to protect people is evacuation. It means to move residents away quickly to keep them safe from radiation. But the way it was done during Fukushima caused a lot of problems. Let me tell you a real story. When a nuclear Fukushima accident happened, an 80-year-old woman living nearby had to evacuate. But you know what? It wasn't radiation that endangered her. It was the evacuation itself. Why? Because evacuation was based only on how far people lived from the plant. If you live within 10 kilometers, you left first. If you worked between 10 and 20 kilometers, you had to wait. That meant everyone was treated the same. Whether young or old, healthy or vulnerable, the system ignored those who needed help most. The results? Delays, traffic jams, and chaos. In the end, it was not radiation that took your life. It was the pressure and confusion of a poorly planned evacuation. So I asked, what if we could do it better? And in my PhD, I am working on a new way to plan evacuations. First, I look at who lives in the area, their age, health, income, how prepared they are, how much they are supported by the government, and how well they can handle an emergency. And I map these results. Then,
No, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very nice, Maria. I would like to invite the next presenter, Erkan Yılmaz.
What are the key factors that influence a wind farm to finalize it? As you can see from this picture, VTGs are located in very different areas, which steep slopes, trees, forested areas with high trees, heights, big water capacity factors, and the others are influence these factors. If there is a questions, this kind of things, from the perspective of the wind energy, the answer is quite simple. Mass are one of the solutions for find the key factors of for a wind farm project. In here, we are trying to finalize and to check some site maps for our study case. Mass are located in a very harsh conditions, and these can be affected from the some cold wind conditions that influence our mass locations. So it is sometimes it should be find that the maintenance and the harsh conditions can affect these kind of mass locations. In our cases, these mass data should be checked for the final hour data cases, and the long-term measurement mass also should be checked with these kind of mass locations. We are using to check the WRF. It is a kind of methodological application methodology. So it is combined with these mass locations and find the proper locations. So at the end of the day, the VTGs should be located in these areas for 20 years, and this is really harsh conditions. In our studies, we are trying to first find the wind field determination, so we can try to find the proper and the best location to these locations. And for final cases, we are trying to find, not remove these mass locations with the other conditions. We are trying to find some costly and effective results, so it could be affect our results. When we check our results, we can find that the observations are catch with our results correlation 90%. This doesn't mean that we could change these data sets with the observations, but this could be very helpful and very prompt way to finalize for the companies, institutions, and for the other locations. At the end of the day, we are trying to find any methodology with combining the atmospheric methodology with the companies, so we find a solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Erkan. If you want to have seats, please. Okay. Nextly, I would like to invite Selvihan Kurt. Okay. Yeah.
So, have you ever wondered what lies beneath parks and streets you walk by every day? In Izmir, the third largest city of Turkey, the answer is generally a cemetery, but not just any cemetery, a vanished one. Greek, Armenian, Jewish, Muslim burial grounds. They once shaped the landscape of the city, but now they are hidden under its modern surface. I am a historian and I study what happened to these cemeteries and what this tells us about the transformation of the city in 19th and 20th centuries. Cemeteries at first glance seem like statistic places, but in reality, they are incredibly dynamic. Who is buried where and who is allowed to be remembered? These questions tell us about power, identity, and belonging. In 19th century Izmir, cemeteries were deeply linked to religious communities. They were places of visibility. On hillsides, along the major roads, by the sea, they marked continuity, presence, and community. But as empire declined, population shifted, ideologies changed. So did the role of the cemetery. Starting in the late Ottoman era, reformers began to see cemeteries as, especially within growing cities, as outdated, unhygienic, and disordered. Reforms pushed cemeteries to the margins, and in the early Republican period, this logic deepened. A nationalist and modernist vision saw cemeteries as obstacles to progress. Some were officially closed, others were moved or said to be. Many of them were simply removed. Their places became stadiums, parks, and roads. Often no sign remains, no plaque, no stone, no name, just absence. My research followed these lost cemeteries through archival records, maps, regulations, community memory, and newspapers. I examined not how just disappeared, but why. And what does disappearance tell us about urban space and collective forgetting? Because to erase a cemetery, it not just erase graves, but it is to silence history. But we can still listen. We can trace these forgotten names to repurposed land, and when we do, we realize something powerful. The city is a pamphlet. Beneath the parks and streets, the memories of entire communities lies. These communities were once living, once remembered, and by uncovering their stories, we don't just study that, but we understand how cities live, change, and choose what to remember. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Selvihan Kurt. Now I would like to invite Mehmet Ali Aygün. Mehmet Ali Aygün. Please put close to the microphone to your mouth. Okay.
Hello everyone, I am Mehmet Elagül. My thesis about physical layer security for wireless communication systems. As you know, we are using wireless communication signals not only for the communication purposes, instead we use for many other applications from IoT, agriculture, healthcare systems, money transferring, military services, and many other applications. Currently, we are using crypto-based algorithms to secure these applications. However, these algorithms are complex. Therefore, in recently, physical layer security-based algorithm got great interest in the literature. Here's one example for the physical layer security algorithms. Here, there is two legitimate parties called Alice and Bob, and they want to share secret key between each other while eavesdropper cannot listen to them. Here, they use a wireless communication channel, and they send signals over this channel. Therefore, they send publicly known signals to each other in the first step. In the first step, however, Eve can able to estimate the channel between itself between the legitimate parties. And in the second step, while they want to share the secret key, they need to reflect back to obtain signals to each other. However, this signals has a channel information which eavesdropper can learn the signals and therefore learn also secret key, which creates a unique vulnerability that we found in our thesis. To eliminate this effect, we propose a novel algorithm which doesn't need to share the secret key. Therefore, it doesn't also share the channel between the legitimate parties. Therefore, eavesdropper cannot listen to channel and they cannot learn the secret key between the legitimate parties. So, in our thesis, we found a novel attack type, and also we found a novel method that eliminates this effect of the attack, which is operational cost efficient, and it doesn't require any hardware requirements. And also, this algorithm can be applicable to standards such as IEEE, 3GPP, and other wireless communication standards. Therefore, it can work with the current existing algorithms. So, with these methods and the algorithm and the attack types, we found that this application from healthcare system to IoT system, agriculture, and many other applications can be used in our life more securely and more efficiently. Thank you for listening.
Next, I would like to invite Atakan Şurdum Avcı.
In Turkey, in average, every person generates about 170 liters of wastewater per day. This is an amount which we cannot ignore, and if we just discharge it as it is, the smallest problem we can encounter is the mucilage problem, which happens every year in the Marmara Sea. The biggest problem is just unthinkable. It's an irreversible environmental catastrophe. So what we generally do is, we take this domestic wastewater, introduce a lot of microorganisms into it. These microorganisms take the contaminants from the wastewater, turn them into more biomass, after which they settle down, we remove them and discharge the treated wastewater safely into a receiving water body. So, since we have more biomass than we started with, what we do is two things. We either convert it into energy or we convert it into fertilizer. Both has problems because the amount of energy we extract from this process is lower than the amount we spend. And secondly, the fertilizer does not have much economic range. That's why we lose money in both of these processes. So we thought, if we can make this process more economically viable, then maybe we can incentivize wastewater treatment more. So what we aimed to do was exploit a microbial feature here. On this picture here, you will see two types of microorganisms. First one is the filamentous microorganisms that look like these threads, and the second type of microorganism is the flock-forming microorganisms. These two types come together and form these superstructures called flocks, which are easier to settle down. In our thesis, we are trying to isolate these filamentous microorganisms and use them as filaments, turn them into products, end products which are more economically viable to make. In our case, it is paper. So my thesis is to take these microorganisms and turn them into paper. Why are we doing this? Because most of the environmental problems arise from one single mindset. I have this on me, I want to get rid of it because it is of no use to me and it has no economic value. So if I can make money out of this, after I throw it away, maybe this will make me think twice before throwing it out. That's why we are trying to make paper out of these microorganisms. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Abdurrahman Kalash. Hi all. I'm an architect, and my master's and PhD are in urban regional planning. So, as an architect, I work with BIM, building information modeling. Obviously, from its name, it's models of 3D buildings that have the ability to contain information which can be used to an analysis and simulations. So I always asked myself, can we do something like BIM, like building information models, in a city scale? So it's a CIM, city information models. Can I do it myself? So I was going through YouTube and I saw this video of the people taking pictures of objects from different angles, and it can be transferred into 3D objects. So I asked myself, can we do it in a city scale? Yeah, obviously we can. If we use drones, you can capture images of cities from different angles, and actually images produced by drones have the coordinates and have the ability to be processed by photogrammetry technology. They can form a model of cities, but the models formed by drones are mesh models. Imagine if we place a curtain on above of something, so it takes the same shape of this thing. But in a 3D environment, this object is one object, so we cannot put a lot of information, spatial information of certain objects of the cities in this one object. So we have to, again, categorize these building elements or city elements to put this information on them, and then we can perform the simulations. So my thesis will be dealing with turning these mesh models into 3D models with which we can put information into certain buildings or city objects, and then we perform simulations and analysis. At the end, we'll have a catalog for urban planners, practitioners, in order to use commercial drones to generate city information models. Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation, Abdurrahman. Next, I would like to invite Samet Kaplan.
Imagine trying to run a marathon without vitamins in your body. You might finish, but at the end your performance would collapse. This is the exactly same thing for rare earth elements in electronic devices. They are hidden in your smartphones, in your laptops, in the screens. Now you are looking at it. They are found in tiny amounts, but increases the performance significantly. Their importance in our daily life does not stop here. They are mainly used for green technologies. For example, an electric vehicle contains around 1 or 2 kilograms of neodymium magnets, and the wind turbine contains around 200 kilograms of neodymium or the rare earth element magnets inside. So we can easily say that they are at the heart of green transition technologies. Ironically, although they are mainly used for green transition technologies, their production from the ore mainly depends on traditional methods which uses high amount of strong acids, producing large amount of toxic wastes and consuming large amount of water. With the global water shortages arising, this problem cannot be ignored. Here is exactly where my research idea comes in. I'm trying to develop a more sustainable and a greener extraction methods from a domestic ore by replacing the readily used strong acids with the green solvents, which are recyclable and reusable. To make an analogy, I am producing the same amount of rare earth elements by using 1 liter of green organic solvents, which are generally dibutectic solvents, instead of using 3 liters of sulfuric acid. By reducing the amount of reagents used in the processes, I am reducing the amount of wastes, and I am also reducing the amount of water used in the production steps. In addition to that, we have discovered that in comparison to acid-based system, the selectivity, which is quite critical for REE production, was increased significantly. At the end, I say green technologies deserve greener extraction methods. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samet. Nextly, I would like to invite Zikriye Melisa Erdoğan.
5 years ago, the world was overwhelmed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Number of infections and number of deaths were everywhere. We've been through tough times. Similarly, back to 1990s, human immunodeficiency virus, or known as AIDS, was one of the deadliest infectious diseases in the world. It's definitely sneakier than COVID-19 because it can hide in the human body without showing any symptoms up to 10 years. Global trends have been declining, but in Turkey, the situation is completely different. The annual HIV diagnosis has increased 5-fold in the last decade. That's why my PhD thesis is about this topic. I ask this question: how can we prevent disease spread in our country? Possible solution? Voluntary counseling and testing centers. These centers are different than other testing sites. People can get tested there without giving their names or identity because they are anonymous and free. Here, I try to focus on the impact of increasing VCT centers in Turkey. That's why I try to create a compartmental model. These models are dividing the population into different subgroups called compartments. Individuals move from one compartment to another. In our model, we considered several different factors, such as risk level of individuals, high risk or low risk individuals, treatment status, treated people or not treated, testing locations, VCT centers or other testing facilities. We used different data from each VCT centers and we compared different strategies. According to our metric, we found that expanding VCT centers is 74 times more effective than increasing other testing sites. 74 times, can you imagine? It's not just a number, it's a call for policymakers. Because our study shows that an evidence-based guidance. Prioritize VCT centers, expand them, support them. Because smart policies can save lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Nextly, I would like to invite Çağatay Gümüş.
Imagine a world where you never have to plug in your electronic devices again. Nowadays, we charge everything, phones, earbuds, even watches. But how advanced our technology gets, the battery life is still an issue. What if our clothes could charge our devices? That is possible with wearable thermoelectrics. Because our body constantly produces heat, and by capturing it, we can turn our clothes into wearable power plants. There are also other ways to produce electricity, but they all come with limitations. Take piezoelectrics. They generate electricity when you move, but the moment you stop, no electricity. Also photovoltaics. They work well under sunlight, but let's face it, indoors at night, zero power. That's why we need something constant, reliable, and wearable. That's why my PhD thesis focuses on wearable thermoelectrics. Thermoelectricity takes advantage of temperature difference between surfaces to convert heat into electricity. So, when the one side of the fabric is hotter than the other, electrons flow towards the cold side, generating heat. To boost the power output, we need high electrical but lower thermal conductivity. In my PhD thesis, the yarns were coated with organic conductors to increase electricity conductivity. Also, 3D spacer fabrics were produced to lower thermal conductivity. Spacer fabrics have tiny air gaps in between the surfaces. These air gaps could trap the body heat and reduce the heat flow. So higher the temperature difference, higher the electricity generated. So with this, here's a cool bonus. With the same fabric, you can also cool yourself down. When you apply electrical voltage, the surface temperature could decrease up to 12 Celsius degree. So it's like wearing your own personal air conditioner. To sum up, wearable thermoelectrics could power your devices, utilizing your waste body heat. No chargers, no bulky batteries. Sustainable, wearable, and always with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Çağatay, again. Now I would like to invite Seda Tokgöz.
Imagine this, you are trying to understand a system that has no borders and no clear edges. You can fully see it, you can fully control it. That system is our atmosphere, which we breathe in. On the other hand, as world's population keeps growing, which will be expected 10 billion by 2050, we need more sustainable agriculture. That means that we need more crop production and more fertilizer application. From here, but this comes with a hidden cost, which is ammonia. Ammonia comes from agriculture and it has environmental impact on water and air. In the air, it reacts with gases to form particulate matter. These particles are really, really small and they can reach into your lungs, lead to asthma, heart attack, and stroke. Every year, over 7 million people die because of air pollution and especially due to PM. And ammonia has trivial but powerful role in that problem. This is where my search is begin. Agriculture very sensitive to meteorological conditions, which will be expected to change in the future with climate change. And during devam edemeyeceğim, özür diliyoruz.
Thank you, Seda, for your presentation. Now I would like to invite Ayça Büyükçınar to get there.
Good morning. Preschool education. Analyzing preschool education environments with a design perspective in the context of play and the model proposal. The study examines child-centered preschool education approach in response to the human-centered design approach as crucial in the 1990s in the design field. We chose child-centered education approach because they approach children intuitive and experiential learning and focus on provide environments for creating, support their creativity and we focus on child-centered education approach in Turkey in Reggio, Montessori and Waldorf approach because they are extensively applied in Turkey. And in children's roles, we can see that children are experts in their own lives and experiences and can be co-researcher as a participator, design researcher, and can be co-designer in design process and product development. And Convention on the Rights of the Child emphasizes that children have the right, democratic participatory democratic right to attend in the decisions in their own lives. And children are seen experts as they are experts in their own lives in the physical environment. We made a qualitative research focusing on field studies conducted with children as co-research process, and we use design-based narrative methods as mind map, two-dimensional works as drawings, and three-dimensional works as models, and also content analysis in semi-structured interviews and focus group interviews. And design-based methods, as I said, mind maps, two-dimensional works, and models. And we prepared a material kit for three-dimensional works for building, designing, and actions. And also for we made qualitative data analysis through interviews with children over their drawings and models, and we made content analysis by coding and categorizing and data visualization, and it contributes to the design field methodologically by synthesizing the methods of design-based and narrative-based methods. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to invite olarak. Also, I would like to remind you, please don't make it so excited too much, because you are not on your own language, so it is normal to be excited, so please calm down.
See this robot trying to learn how to ride a bike? Step 1, step 2, step 3, and success. This is how we learn difficult skills, step by step, and it makes perfectly sense. But imagine asking a young child to learn university level of calculus. It's impossible because they need basic math skills first, like counting, addition, algebra. Without these right steps, without the right curriculum, students fail, and it's absolutely not their fault. Similarly, AI faces the same problem. Throwing AI into a very complex mission from the start, it's overwhelming. It's like the child with calculus. AI also needs a curriculum, but creating a curriculum, creating learning steps for a complex real-world mission, it's the real challenge, and it requires deep expert knowledge. It takes a lot of time. So we created an automatic teacher that creates curriculum for AI. It first identifies what makes the task easy or hard. Then it creates learning steps, starting simpler, getting harder. And more importantly, it watches how AI performs. If AI is struggling, then it gives an easier learning step. If the learning progresses too fast, then it gives a more challenging learning step. It automatically adapts the curriculum according to the level of AI. So we tested this algorithm in distinct computer simulations. The first one is complex maze problem, and the second one is a difficult flight control problem. And the results were clear. The system using our automatically adapted curriculum learned much faster and performed much better than other baseline methods. Our approach even succeeded in the environments where other approaches completely failed. So, creating a curriculum and building the learning steps properly, our research empowers AI to successfully master real-world AI problems in computer science, in robotics, and beyond. And the motto is step by step. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Onurkan. Now, I would like to invite Adel and Roy.
You're on a plane thousands of feet in the air, trusting everything is sound. But what if there was a silent threat was lurking within the materials around you? Modern airplanes are built with advanced materials that are strong yet lightweight. These materials are lighter than metal, helping planes save fuel and carry more. But here's the problem. Unlike metal, they can break silently with no obvious warning signs. So to stay safe, engineers, while they are building the aircraft, they add more of these materials, increasing the weights. And after the aircraft enters the service, it is subjected to regular inspections, causing delays and increasing costs. But what if we did give these materials a voice to warn us about tiny damage before they become a problem? And that's where print and sense comes in, my thesis work. I work on methods to print very thin sensors onto the advanced materials used in aircraft. These materials are, these sensors, become part of the structure itself, adding almost no extra weight or complexity. To make this work, I use very special carbon materials. They are lightweight, but also have unique electrical properties that make the sensing possible. But the first tries weren't very good enough. They did not hold up well in the lab tests. And they did not, that mimic the sensing, that mimic the flight conditions, and they weren't very sensitive enough to small damage. So in the lab, I designed new sensors, the ones you see here. I improved the materials and tested their performance. It's bringing us closer to a reliable and sensitive sensing system. So the next time you're on a plane, picture a future where network of these sensors are built in right into the aircraft's structure. Quietly monitors its health from takeoff to landing. These sensors help airplanes to, or allow airplanes to sense and report in real time. For example, if a foreign object, like a bird, hits the wing, the sensors can sense the hit, pinpoint the location, and report to the pilot how serious it is. These sensors, this means sensors are smarter, and it means planes are safer, and we have smarter maintenance, repairs only when needed, and that's the future we are printing today. Thank you.
Thank you, Adel, for your presentation. Please welcome our next presenter, Talip Tolga Sarı.
Imagine multiple drones flying over a remote area, large area, and their task is monitoring forest, farm, or wildfire. But here's the challenge. They have limited batteries they have unstable wireless communications, and they are trying to speak all at once. And the conditions change dynamically. Traditional networks, traditional communications handle this very poorly. They transmit everything, they transmit every sample just in case, even if the network conditions do not change. My PhD asks a simple question. When we need to send this data? When the data is important? For example, take a look at the top two images. They carry the same message, but the one on the right is easier to transmit. It requires less bits. That's the heart of semantic communications. We teach devices to learn meaning. We teach devices to learn the context. So they treat data not just bits, they see patterns in it. And they continue to ask, does this information matter or not? To do this, we use edge intelligence. Artificial intelligence algorithms baked right into the drones and even sensors, so that they may continue to ask, does this sample matter? Is this information really important right now? And as a result, this makes us save energy, this makes us make decisions faster, and it makes us to prioritize important data so that we can react faster to these wildfires or environmental pollutions. Throughout my thesis, I worked on multiple UAV networks that try to collect samples faster. They run machine learning algorithms collaboratively to make these measurements. And this isn't just about data compression. This is not data compression. This is about smarter communication and knowing when to send data and when to speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Talip, Tolga. Now I would like to invite our next presenter, Aynur Hürriyet Türkyılmaz.
Hello, my name is Hürriyet. Today, every presenter wanted you to imagine something, and I want you now to imagine you are leading $1 million construction project. Everything seems on track, everything is okay. But after a while, you realize that the costs are going up. They start to spiral. The projects that you have seen on the screen, these are the most important examples from the construction industry that they experience huge amount of cost overruns. And this is not a rare case. Unfortunately, according to the research, more than 75% of the construction project experience cost overrun. So the big question is, can we foresee these overruns before it's too late? My research focuses on determining the final completion cost of a construction project using risk data and machine learning. Risks are recorded in a typical construction project in a document called risk register. Risk register is a kind of diary for the potential problems like delays, design changes, material shortages with their probabilities and impacts. This is something like a diary. And maybe these risk items seem somewhat abstract, but what if we could use this diary to calculate something very concrete, money? And that's exactly what I've done. I collected risk registers from real-world construction projects and calculated total risk score for each. Then I used machine learning algorithms to define the pattern between these risk score and total completion cost. My research had two main objectives. Depending on the total risk score, predicting the final completion cost of a project, and classifying total cost increase percentages. Different kinds of machine learning algorithms were tested, and the best performing ones were identified for each project type. Actually, this study will help project managers, executives, to make early and data-driven decisions like increasing budgets, relocating sources, or adjusting timeline before it's too late. And I hope that This study will solve the main problems in the construction industry as a financial problems to overcome these kind of uncertainties. Because the problem is not what will go wrong in construction and in life. The problem is being ready for this kind of uncertainties. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hürriyet, for your presentation. Nextly, I would like to invite Neslihan Turhan Çakır.
Hello everyone. Imagine a system that carries anti-cancer drugs only to tumor cells, and it activates when it needed. No side effect, no damaged healthy tissues. It sounds good, right? That's the challenge of my thesis. Everyone knows that traditional cancer treatment methods. These are surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, etc. These are, of course, powerful, but they have limitations and drawbacks, especially unspecific toxicity. Overcome this obstacle can be achieved by smart drug delivery system. With this purpose, we design and develop glycopolymer-based gold nanorod hybrid nanoparticle. And this is the first time fabricated. This system consists of three main parts: glycopolymer, thermoresponsive polymer, and gold nanorods. First key component, sugar-based polymer, glycopolymer. Why we choose glycopolymer? Why we choose sugar? Cancer cells love sugar, and they consume more glucose than healthy tissues. And they contain glucose receptor on their surfaces. Sugar units can easily bind this receptor. It's active targeting. But targeting alone, it's not enough. We also want to control the timing when drug is released. To do that, I use thermoresponsive polymer, which its behavior changes with temperature. At the body temperature, it's stable. It holds drug inside tightly. But when we apply an external signal, which is frequency signal, the gold nanorod in the middle of the nanoparticle absorbs energy and converts to heat. The polymer responds to the heat, and it will open, and it will release the drug inside in the cell, and also hit directly damage to the cancer cell. That's hypothermia. So we combine effect. We get combined effect. Targeted chemotherapy and localized hypothermia in one system. My nanoparticle can do three things in shortly: find tumor, response to external signal, and deliver the treatment with precision. This approach aims to reduce side effect, improve efficiency, and take a step closer to personalized cancer therapy. In shortly, my nanoparticle will kill only tumor cells. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you for your presentation. Next, I would like to invite Ece Bayram.
Have you ever wondered how a structure can survive a major earthquake when it's built on a weak soils? In earthquake-prone regions like Turkey, it is not just academic question, it's a matter of life and death. We have seen again and again building collapse, not just because they are weak structures, but because they are built on weak soils. Traditionally, to solve this problem, engineers use pile foundations. The pile foundations generally rigidly connected with the structures. However, this rigid connection sometimes can cause other problems, because rigid connection cause transfer strong horizontal forces during earthquake. Therefore, they can bend, crack, or even collapse. So, what if it disconnected them? By placing gravel cushion layer between the structure and piles. In my thesis, I study about this, and I conducted a dynamical centrifuge experiment at Cambridge University to simulate the disconnected pile behaviors under strong earthquakes, especially for liquefiable soils. In my study shows that the piles in this piles works like a reinforced data structure part, and the structure can move with the earthquake like flexible. So in places like Turkey, we just not think the foundation must be strong, but we also think our foundation must be smart. And I think this shows that this connection isn't failure, it's a resilience. Thank you.
Let's welcome our next presenter, Özde Zeynep Güner Yılmaz.
What if I told you there may be a cure for a disease, but we can't find it simply because we are searching it in the wrong way? Imagine you are standing in the middle of a city the size of a planet. The roads, the buildings, the alleys, they're all moving, changing shape as you try to navigate. Well, this city is a protein. And inside there's a hidden doorway, which is a target for a life-saving drug. In drug discovery, finding that doorway means everything. Traditional methods waste precious time and money in order to search for this door and simulate the entire protein. In my thesis, I wanted to make the search more effective. I began by identifying the key regions inside the protein, the highways where vital messages travel. Then I applied the technique called mixed course training, which keeps the key region fully detailed while simplifying the rest. But structure alone wasn't enough. Proteins move, so I applied a technique called anisotropic network modeling, shows how these key regions would flex and shift and results in realistic shapes which are conformers of the proteins. Then I truncated these key regions, ran molecular dynamic simulations and calculated how likely a drug would be to stick there. To test my approach, I used a relatively small protein just to compare the truncated and the full structure. As a result, 40% reduction in size resulted in 15% reduction in computational cost without compromising accuracy. For larger and more complex systems, it's expected to further reduce this computational cost while solving real-life problems such as cancer or as Alzheimer's disease. This method has a wide range of applications in biological systems, which is difficult to simulate right now due to their size and flexibility. Imagine you can map the highways, predict the traffic, and find the doorway even no one knew it existed. You just need to know where to map and where exactly to look. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Özde Zeynep. Nextly, I would like to invite Janset Özdemir Sezgin. She's not here, so we are going to the next one. Abdul Samed.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdul Samad, and today we will going to talk about why battery management system is important and what I am doing to make it safe and efficient. So have you ever noticed while charging up your phone, your battery get heat up? What do you think, is it safe? Now think about it, there is an electric vehicle which has a large and bigger battery pack which consists of a large number of cells, and imagine that how much amount of heat it gets generated. So, for instance, there is one incident in the past in South Korea. There was an EV from a very reputed company. It caught fire because of a thermal runaway. And thermal runaway is like a kind of chain reaction which generated inside the battery if it doesn't get cooled. So my aim is to develop an efficient battery management system to overcome these challenges. So my research is divided into 3 tasks. As you can see in the slides, the first task is to develop an equivalent circuit model, which is actually represent the battery chemistry inside the battery chemistry of the cells. Like it consists of a different kind of resistors and capacitors, and it provides you an accurate state of charge of the battery. If you will not get accurate state of charge of the battery, what's gonna happen? It gets overcharged and it generates more amount of heat, which results in thermal runaway. So to accurately develop an ECM model to get an accurate state of charge. So the next task, the subtask of the first one is to develop an thermal model which provides you the heat distribution of the system. So if you get an accurate heat distribution, so you can decide which kind of cooling strategy you can use and what will be the effect of a particular cooling technology or thermal management system you use in the battery pack. So and after that, after developing those 2 models, you can combine those 2 models because the temperature is also depend on the battery charging. If your battery gets overcharged, if you will not get an accurate state of charge, so your battery will get heat up. So to combine to get an accurate, what you can say that to accurate parameters of the battery, so the combining of 2 models are very important. Electrothermal, which we call it electrothermal model. So after getting an accurate heat distribution, you can you can get a sensor optimization because you also need your battery pack, the cost should be reduced. So you need, after accurate heat distribution, you can get a sensor optimization to place an accurate sensor, where to place accurate sensors, where to place in a system. So that's my thesis, what I'm doing right now to make it efficient. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I guess we have 2 absent. So Muhammad Abdulhak, not here, right? And Janset, not here. So just a second. So this presentation concludes all our presentations for today. Congratulations to all participants. Since the presentations have finished, it is time for you, the audience, to vote for the People's Choice Award. Just a minute, okay.
Belediye sonunda hocam.
Okay. Since the presentation have finished, it is time for you, the audience, to vote for the People's Choice Award. Participating in the voting, to participate in the voting, the scan code displayed on the screen. You might use your phones to vote your selected person. Alternatively, in case of you are not able to read the QR code, you might go to the slido.com and use this ID to vote the people you have choose. Meanwhile, our jury panel will begin their deliberation to select top 2 winners based on the official 3MT criteria: comprehension, engagement, and communication. In case of they need, they might use the VIP room to decide in case of any privacy required. By the way, you might use your votes. So we will wait the results. there anyone has problem to use this Slido or no one? Okay. Is there a problem? No. Okay. And I will vote myself too. We have reached to 450 votes in the People's Choice Award. So we have here 500 persons, right? So we will finish the voting when the juries decide arrives to me. So. Okay. We are preparing the results. Just a second. Sorry for this. We would like to repeat the people's choice award selection again because it seems it is not fairly selected. So we will hand out papers. Please write your selection. It will take some time, but we are trying to make it right, okay? Please select the first, second, and third part, people's choice award people, okay? Not just single one. 3 people. Yeah.
So first place, second place, and third place, okay? In case.
Tamamlayanlardan alabilirim.
Aynısı yok.
Yok.
Yani
Now we are counting the people's choice award. Sorry for the delay. We are organizing this event very first time, so some unexpected results happens. I think with your helps we have dealt with it. So I would like to continue to our presentation. I would like to invite Mr. Ali Rıza Arslan to stage to present the awards to winners. Just a minute. Also, I would like to invite Vice Rector of İpek Akın Karadayı. So we have come to the end, and I would like to invite for the second place winner, which decided by jury, Neslihan Turhan Çakır. Neslihan in the second place, that is selected by the jury. Now, the first place award goes to Atakan Şurdum Alcı. For the People Choice Award, it being some problem here. Actually, the jury and the audience decided it at the same way. The next, maybe Atakan for the second one for the jury, for the audience, but for the first one, Neslihan is selected by the peoples, but we cannot award 2 times. So the third place on the People's Choice Award goes to Çağatay.
Uzun bir değerlendirme.
Congratulations to all winners and big clap to all participants. if you want something.
Directors, committee, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to apologize for my late coming, and I would like to congratulate all the winners, all the team, all the participants. Since my Turkish is better than my English, I would like to say some of my feelings in Turkish, please, if you let me. Çok teşekkür ederim bir kere beni buraya davet ettiğiniz için. Muhteşem bir aurayı gördüm burada. Ben şu anda 70 yaşındayım. İlk defa bu sahnelere ya da bu masalara, bu sandalyelere 1973-74 ODTÜ girişliyim. Ve 1977'de IBM'de stajımı yaptım. Dolayısıyla bizim dönemimizde işte punch kartlarla, efendim işte IBM 360 böyle kocaman oda dolusu bilgisayarlarla başladığımız dönemde 50 yıl sonra böyle pırıl pırıl gençlerin muhteşem projeleriyle, güzel projeleriyle, dünya çapında projeleriyle buralarda olmasından dolayı inanılmaz bir mutluyum ve duygulandım.
Thank you. I forgot to mention, from the People's Choice Award, Neslihan got 18 votes, Atakan got 13 votes, Çağatay got 9 votes. Okay? So, now I would like to invite Professor Dr. Fatma Seni Hagüner back to stage for a few final words to close this event and present crystal to Mr. Ali Rıza Arslan and certificates to all jury members. Okay.
Evet, çok teşekkür ederiz katkılarınızdan dolayı. Çok sağ olun.
Tabii. I would like to invite our jury members, Professor Dr. Altan Çakır, to get his certificate. Thank you. I would like to invite next Professor Dr. Elif Günceli Güner. Thank you. Nextly, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Hatice Ayataç. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Professor Dr. Tufan Kumbasar to get his certificate. Thank you. Nextly, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Tuncay Zorlu to get his certificate. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Yılmaz Akkaya. Thank you very much. Lastly, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. İpek Yalçın Eniş. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all again. Thank you all presenters, jury members, and our audience for making today's competition a success. We hope to see you at the future 3MT events. Have a great day. Thank you.